Hello guys, welcome. This is Ethica with you. Now in this video, I'll be showing you how to create an account on Selar. Alright, so Selar is actually a platform where you can sell your digital products for your potential customers or a group of audience. Alright, irrespective of their location. Alright, so without wasting time, let's get into my system. So we'll start the process. All right, so first thing first, you need to have a very strong connection and a browser. So I'm going to launch my browser. In this case, I'll be using um, the Microsoft Media Edge, that is Edge browser for this. So you just need to go to your browser and type in seller.com. As you can see, it's already here. So if you type in seller.com, if you hit enter, it's going to take you to the seller platform. All right, so this is how the seller platform looks like. They said it's the best way to sell your digital products online, irrespective of the location of your potential customers. Okay, so yes, if you want to read more about this platform, you can maybe click on how it works, check out their pricing, the features that it has. But of course, to create an account, you just need to click on Start Selling. Is either you use the button at the top right or you use the one at the bottom here. So I think if you already have an account, you just need to click on Login to get into your account. So we are assuming we don't have an account on Seller, so I'll be clicking on Start Selling and it's going to take you to where you need to create an account. As you can see, this is a very simple form that you'll fill to create an account. All right, so there are two ways that you can create an account on Seller. Is either you fill in this form or you log in with, or you create an account with your Google, account. That is something like your email or your X, which is Twitter, or you can sign up with your Facebook account. That is if you can only use this process if maybe, for example, your Gmail account is logged in the same browser that you're using. If any of these accounts, your Facebook, your Twitter, or your Google, you have them logged in on this same browser that you're using, then you'll be able to sign up with the second option. But I'm assuming that my email ID is not on this browser, so I'll just need to fill in this process. I'll type in my first name, so I'm going to give it this, and for the last name, I'll give this last name. Then the email ID, of course, is very, very important. You have to put in a valid email address. So I'll be using this. Okay, to crime depot 01 at gmail.com. All right, so for the password, you need to create a very strong password. You can see these are the criteria for your password. So all these are on red. So as you type in your password, if you meet up all these criteria, they're going to turn from red to green. So your password must contain at least 8 characters. It must contain a letter. It must also contain a number. All right. So these are just the criteria that your password must meet before the create account button will be activated. All right. So let me create my password. All right. You can see I think I've met the criteria. So we can see they've turned from red to green. So this is just the password. At the bottom, we need to confirm the same password. So I'll put in the exact password that I just typed. So all right, so I think my passwords, I've entered both the password and the confirmed password. So I just need to activate, I need to accept their terms and conditions. So I'll check this box and you can see the create account button has been activated for me. All right, so I'm going to click on create account. So when you click on create accounts, all right, so it says, how do you plan to use Seller today? You can save this. For me, I don't like saving, especially you're not to save, especially when the computer you're using is not yours. So let's scroll down. Let me zoom this. All right, so it's asking, how do you want to start? How do you plan to use Seller? All right, so you can create there are different methods that there are different types of accounts you can have on Seller. The first account is what you can create an account as a creator or as an affiliate marketer or as a customer. For let's start with the first one. To create an account as a creator, it means you're going to be creating products or digital products that you're going to be uploading to sell to others. All right, that is for creator. Then the second one that says affiliate marketer, of course, it means you don't have a product to sell, but then you'll be browsing through the available products on Seller, and you're going to be using those products. You'll be selling those products to earn a commission. So for every product that you sell, you're going to have a commission on that. For example, if the price of a product is 10,000, and let's say the product's affiliates commission has been set to something like 50%. All right, so if you sell that product, if you sell a 10,000 naira product, it means the creator of that product is going to take 5,000 naira, while you are going to take the remaining 5,000 naira. All right, so that is the commission. Okay, so you can sign up as an affiliate marketer. So you market those products. For every sales of that particular product, you get a commission. That is what it means. Then you can also sign up as a normal customer. All right, so for normal customers, you don't have a product, and you don't want to market any product, or you don't want to promote any products. The only thing you'll be doing on the platform is just to go and see the available products and you purchase them. All right, so you consume the available products on the system. So that is for customer. Okay, so these are the different types of accounts that you can have on this system. So I'll be creating an account as a creator. So I'm going to click on, of course, we are going to be selling products. So we need to create an account as a creator. So I'll click on continue as a creator. All right. So continue as a creator. All right, so there are a few information that I need to provide here. You just need to pick. I need to select my gender, then date of birth. Okay, you have to put your date of birth. Don't mind me, I'll be using this. Okay, so that is the date I want to use. Then your phone number, of course, you can add your phone number here. Is actually for internal comms. So I'll just put in. So I'll put in my phone number. Sorry, I think it's actually difficult to be typing and talking. So how did you hear about us? So this is optional. You can pick anything you want to pick. Let's just say Google search, and I'll click on save. Sorry, it says this contact number must be valid. Right, yeah, I think there's something I need to add. So let me fill that form again. Let me zoom so that you see what I'm doing. So for the date of birth, I'll pick in a date from, let's say, 2002 or 2001. Let me use 2001, June 5th. All right, so yes, you can see contact number for internal comms and reminders. Right now, look at the format. If you look at the field, there's a format here. So the number must start with 234 and you put the remaining numbers. All right, so I just typed the number without adding the 234. That was the reason why I had that error. So I've added the 234. Then how did you hear us? I'm going to select Google search, and I'll click on save. So this should activate my account. So you can see my account has been activated, but then it says your email address is not verified. So check your inbox. So I need to go to my mail. I'll go to my email and activate that. I think I just got a mail from Selar. All right, so I think I've logged into same email that I'm using, so I'll be able to show you how to do that. All right, so I'll go to the next tab. You can see this is the email. So I'll just click on, this is the email that was sent. You can see the time that the email was actually sent. So I'll click on confirm. I'll click on confirm email to actually confirm the message that was sent to me, or to confirm my email ID. That is to verify. You can see success email verified. Email verified successfully. So it means my account has been activated or verified. All right, so this is how the interface of your account looks like. So it says you can now add products or create a page. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to actually close this. So at the right hand side, let's take a look at the dashboard. I'm going to click on home. Okay, I think I have some messages here. These are some of the messages in case you want to read, but I don't want to go through that. You can actually switch the entire platform from English to maybe French. So you can actually change the language of these platforms. So let's click on creator profile. All right, so you can actually switch from maybe being a creator to maybe to becoming an affiliate marketer or customer. So at the point of creating an account, it doesn't really matter what you actually selected during your account creation. For example, there was a place that it was asking it was asking us the kind of account we want to create. Are we creating an account for customer or creator or an affiliate marketer? So we actually went with a creator. All right. So it doesn't matter, even it doesn't matter, the kind of account you create. You can actually switch, this after you've created your account. You can see we created an account as a creator, so we can actually switch from being a creator to affiliate, or we can even switch from being a creator to a customer that is a normal customer. Okay, so this is how the interface looks. All right, so let's go. We can actually do some settings here. Let's take a look at the profile settings. All right, you can see this is our profile. In case there's something you want to change, maybe you want to change your date of birth, you want to change your name, your last name, maybe there are things you want to do on this platform. So yeah, what kind of creator are you? All right, are you an individual creator, or your business is actually registered? Okay, so since we are starting for the first time, I think we'll be going with the individual. And what's the category of products that the kind of product that you want to be selling, what category does it belong to? Okay, so you need to be specific here. I think for ours, I think we would like to go with, let's see, I don't want to sell physical products. We are actually focusing on digital products. We have books and education. Let's see, what again do we have? We have software and tech. Let's see, wealth and finance. Yeah, I think the kind of digital product we want to be creating is going to be focusing on wealth and finance. All right, so I'm going to select this. Okay, so let's take a look at which other. We have health and beauty. Yes, we can sometimes create a digital product on this. Then software and tech. If you want to create digital products that, okay, I think media and content, yes, we can create a digital product that are within this category, right? So let's say so I think we can have a maximum of three, and I think we've exhausted that limit. Okay, so I'll click on, we have subcategory. So we need to like we want to create a subcategory of this category. These are like main category, then we have sub. We are like narrowing it down to a to the subcategory that we're about to create. Okay, so let's say we have healthcare. No, what should I select? Yeah, let's take a look at, we have business and finance. Yes, we also have personal finance. Okay, yes, we want to actually work on this. Then let's take a look at the last subcategory. Let's see, personal care, health care. We want to create products around health care, so we can actually select this. Now we can tell us about your store. Okay, so we're going to be you can create a store description, that is, people will be able to see maybe what your store is all about. Okay, like the about us section of your store. Okay, so they'll read they'll read to get more details about your your seller store, but we're going to be doing this later. Okay, so let's go down to social media details. If you have social media for this particular profile or this particular seller page that you want to create, you can actually add all these links here, or you can add your social media handles, your Twitter, your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, in case you want to actually reach out to see or to read more about you or to know you better. They can actually do that. Okay, so our contact information is here. I think we're able to go with that. So I'll just click on save. So provide at least one. Wow, we need to provide at least one social media handle. So let's add wow, I don't have any for this, but I think I'll be using this YouTube stuff. So let's have ads. I'm going to be using, let's see, Winitech solution Winitech solutions. Okay, I'll just click on save and boom, that's profile settings has been done. All right, so let's see. I can now go back. I'll click on this toggle icon. You can see that my profile is actually on starter. All right, so let's click on home to see what is happening. All right, so yes, so the next step is for us to add our bank details, okay, to our seller. Of course, how the seller platform works is very simple. When you upload your products, on seller, you're going to promote that product, okay, and you're going to have a link of that product that you share to your potential, customers, and when they buy that product, okay, they're going to make payments to seller, then the account details that you're going to be linking to this seller account, or this your seller page, it's what is going to, it's what the seller is going to, be paying you with. All right, so it means when you place a withdrawal, seller is going to make payments to whatever account details that you link to this your seller account. All right, so that's the next step for us. As you can see on the screen, we have add bank details. Okay, so I need to just click on add bank details. So of course, my country is actually Nigeria, so it's already there. It said after you make your first sales, all right, you will be required to complete your KYC and set your government details before you can withdraw your fund. All right, so this is just they're just letting us know that this is not going to affect you for now, but after you've made a sales, when you started making sales, there's time that you will need to do your KYC. KYC is know your customer. All right, so they'll collect some other information like your government ID, something like your passport, your NIN. You understand? Just to know that yes, you are real, or you are from the country you said you are from. Okay. So for the bank, we're going to select here. You're going to select your bank. I think I love OP, so I'm going to be using OP or PCOM. So I'll select that. Then I just need to add my OP account. All right, so I'll just add up this. Okay, so I'll just click on verify. So the system is going to fetch your name. All right, you can see my name pops up. That is to tell you that my account is correct. So I'll just need to click on continue. It says, are you sure you want to are you sure these details are correct? And of course, yes, I'll just click on OK. So the system is going to, yeah, okay, the system is going to, activate that. You can see at the top, we have success, account details, saved. All right, so I think that has been done. So here we can click on, you can now proceed. It says I don't have any products yet. Of course, I've not added any products. All right, so let's see, show love. It said click create my page to set up your love page. All right, so we're going to ignore this for now. Now you notice that if I click on the toggle icon here at the top right, this is where you do other settings. All right, so let's go to home. Let's go to home from here. Okay, we are currently on home. Now at the left hand side, when you click on the toggle icon, these are lots of features that seller has. The first one is, let's take a look at them one after the other. So the first one is what? Sales. All right, so when you upload your product, you start selling your product, and people start buying your product. Now this is where you see the number of sales. You want to, if I click on sales now, you're going to see when there is any order or somebody make a purchase, you're going to see the record here. Okay, you will see the record. You can see that the number of sales at this point is 0. So number of sales is actually 0. So you can actually search from here. Maybe if you want to search based on date, you'll be able to do that from when to when, something like history, or you want to see how many number of people bought your product from this period to this period, something like that. You can filter. So for now we don't have any of this because we have not even uploaded a product. All right, so approved requests, these ones they are new. You can also check to see the abandoned product, abandoned transactions. All right, something like, all right, so this is the abandoned transaction section. So how this section actually works is very simple. When you send a link to your digital product to your potential customers, some of them are going to be clicking on the link, but then they might not check out. All right, so the system is going to actually fetch their information so that you'll be able to do what we call follow up. All right, but seller has the capability of doing this follow up for you. You don't necessarily have to be the one to send them maybe a reminder, or you send them mails to make them actually purchase the product. So seller has that ability. So you're going to be seeing all their details at the bottom. In case you want to call them or you want to send them, a message. All right, so you can actually do that without issue. All right, so let's go back to the toggle icon. So that is that about the sales and the abandoned transactions. So there's another section called products. So this is where you can actually see the available products that you've added. But for now, we don't have any products. So even if I click here, you're going to see that we don't have any record yet. Okay, that is because you've not uploaded your product. So to add products, you just need to click on add product, and it will take you to where you select the type of product that you want to add. All right, so our focus in this lesson is going to be on digital products. So you select this, you're going to select digital products, and you proceed. We're going to see how to do this later on in the video. All right, so you can click to see all products, you can add products, you can see featured products, you can actually check to see subscribers, product category, variation assets. These are things that you can do. A lot of things that you can actually do here. You can even click to see the list of your customers, that is all your customers. But for now, we don't have any digital product uploaded, so of course we don't have any customers yet. So if your product is being linked with maybe you've created affiliates for your customers, that is for your products, you'll be able to see them here. So for now, we don't have any of this record yet. All right, so let's go and see one of the most important feature, which is wallet and payouts. All right, so this is where you do your payout settings. When I click on payout settings, you can actually update your account details here. At the point of registration, we're able to add an account, and at the bottom here, you're going to see the accounts that you added. All right, so in case you want to make updates to it, you'll be able to change the account details from these details. All right, so we can also update our payouts schedule. Do you want it to be automatic or manual? This is where you can actually change it here. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to our settings, and let's click on the main settings here. So I'm going to click on settings. Okay, before that, we have integration. Now it depends on the platform that you want to be promoting your products from. You can use any of the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the likes. Okay, so you can actually add what we call Facebook pixels here. All right, so that is a unique feature that seller has, that you'll be able to track the number of sales, and you're going to track the number of sales that you've made on while you're running your adverts. Okay, this is actually a very good feature. Okay, so let's take a look at the general settings. This is where you set up your store, that is your general store. All right, so when when we were creating the account, we used our last name and first name during registration, but then this is actually not the name of our store. All right, that was just for registration. So you can actually change the name of, every business has a name. Okay, so this is where you set up the name for your store. So let's see, we want to call this store digital income digital income let's see, zone or hub. Yeah, digital income hub, for example. This is the name of my store because I will be selling, or I will be promoting digital products. So I want to name it according to the kind of products that I will be selling. So that's why I named it digital income hub. So it is your duty to sit down and come up with a name that you want to assign to your store. Okay, then you need to also create a logo for that particular business. Okay, so at the bottom here you can see this is our email ID, and it has created our store link. This store link is actually unique for you. So it means you can actually copy this link and share it to a couple of people, which are your potential customers, so that they'll be able to see the available products that you have for them, all right, and decide whether to buy or not. So at the bottom here we have store description. This is optional actually, but it will be good for you to add them, so that if your potential customers come to your store, you'll be able to have more detail about your store and see the kind of products that you sell. So at the bottom here we have social media details. You can add up the social media handles that you have, so that it will link users or potential customers to this your social medias, and from there they'll be able to see detailed or more products that you promote on these your social media platforms. So you just need to click on update. So what I'll do is I've decided the name that I want to use for my store. Now I need to create a logo for this store. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to create I'll go to ChatGPT. GPT is going to help us achieve that. So open ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Let's see. Yeah, you can use any of the AI tools, but I think ChatGPT is enough to do this. All right, so look at what I'll tell GPT. I need to tell GPT the name of my store, so that it will be able to create a store description, and also it will help me generate the logo. All right, so let me zoom so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just say hello. Hello, I have created a store on let's see, Selar, with the name. Okay, I want you to help me create a short store description. Okay, so let's see what GPT is going to give us. Hello, I've created a store on Seller with the name Digital Income Hub, and I want you to help me create a short description for this particular store. So this is what GPT is saying. So it created like three to four store description. So you can tell it to, you just need to pick one. So what I'll do is I'll just tell it to select the best for me. Select the best for me. Okay. So it's going to select the best for me. Let's see, I think it went with option 2, which is this. All right, so I'll just copy this and I'll go back to my store and I'll paste it where it says store description. As simple as that. Financial, what? Financial freedom and achieve financial freedom. Income stream. So I'll leave it here. Okay, so I need it to create logo because I don't have any logo. So what I'll do is I'll just tell it create a realistic, not create, I'll just say generate a realistic high quality logo for this store. Okay, so let's see what it's going to generate for us. It's analyzing. You need to be logged in. All right, so it appears this guy cannot generate a logo for me because I'm not logged in. All right, so but it's giving me prompts that I'll be able to use to generate the logo. All right, I think this is good. So what I'll do is let me just sign up. I'll sign up with Google because my email is already on the system, which will allow me to proceed with the image creation. So let's see if network allows us. Awesome. Okay, so let me just click this. I want to copy that prompt. Wow, it's not here. Wow, so let's do something. You know, this is a different chart because we've created an account. So let me just paste this. That's solid, clear. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll repeat that prompt. So I'll generate a realistic high quality logo for this seller store. Generate a realistic high quality logo for this seller store. So let's see what is going to generate for me. So you can see AI is generating the image that is the logo that I can use for this my store page. So depending on the strength of your network, it's going to generate this logo for you. So the image is coming up. We need to just give it time to generate the image. So let's see. You can also define, the logo combination that you want it to create. Also, you can see we now have a logo that we can use for our seller store. So all we need to do is to download. I'll click on download and boom, we'll be good to go. So that image has been downloaded. I'll just close this. I'll go back to seller and I'll need to click on this where it says select image file. So I'll go to I need to navigate to download. Where is it? I need to navigate to download and this is the image. I'll just select and I'll click on update store. So you can see we have successfully uploaded our store profile, that is the store logo or image. Then we can scroll down. There are some miscellaneous store settings that you can do. One of them is store checkout settings. All right, so the first checkout is collect customers mobile number on store checkouts. That is, if a customer wants to buy your product, do you want to collect their phone number? That is the question. If you actually want them to input their phone number, you just need to check on this. Then the next one, collect customers address. In case you want to collect customers address before the person can check out, you need to check on this. But I think I would strongly advise that you just leave it just the way it is, because no customer wants to go through all this stress just because he or she wants to buy your product. So we're going to leave this open. Then where it says collect customers postcode, all this info, just leave them. I think you don't need to do anything here. Then here where it says change the general button CTA. CTA stands for call to action. All right, something like buy now, grab your copy, or learn more, things like that. In case you want to actually change that from the default, you can actually set it here. All right, for example, if I want to put something like buy now, so once they click on your product from the link, it will take them to the checkout page. Now on the checkout page, they're going to have the button where they will actually click, that it will take them to where they will input their credit card info, or where they will see the account number for the transfer or for payments. So this is where you make the changes of the call to action, button text. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it on buy now. Then transaction charge, seller makes money anytime a product is purchased. All right, anytime they purchase your product, seller is going to make money. You're also going to make money. Now, who makes the payment? The platform fee. This is where the settings is being done. So by default, if your product is, for example, 5,000 naira, you set your product price to be 5,000 naira. Now, when a user or customer buys that product, seller is actually going to remove their own percentage. Okay, they call it platform percentage, platform charges. All right, so maybe it will just remove like 4 naira or 5 naira from the 5,000 naira. So now the question here is, who is going to make this payment? Who is going to be charged for this platform charges? Is it you as a creator, or you want the customer to actually pay for the charges? So this is where you select it. By default, it's on the creator, that is you. So if the product is 5,000 naira, when a user purchases that product, all right, so you're not going to get the exact 5,000 naira because seller is going to deduct their platform charges. So you end up getting something like 4,000 something something, maybe 4,500 if their charges is 500 naira. So, but if you want the customers to actually pay for these charges, so that on your page you're going to see the product price to be what, 5,000 naira, but then when they come to actually check out, the charges of the seller platform will be added. So they're going to see something like 5,500 naira if the charges is 500. All right, so at the point of checkout, this platform charges is going to be what, added to the customer. All right, so that at your own point you're going to be receiving your exact amount that you set for your product. All right, so I hope you understand this explanation. So if you have any question, you can drop it on the chat, on the comment section, and I'll be super glad to respond to your questions. All right, so let's see, just leave this just the way it is. Yeah, tax settings, leave it empty. Now the next one is what, store design settings. Do you want to show store category sidebar? Just leave it open. Yes, one thing we need to do here is what, allow product rating after purchase. So you need to allow your customers to rate your products, after they purchase your products. You should be able to rate it. If you actually want that, you can leave it checked. By default it's unchecked. Yeah, I think it's good. We're going to leave this. Then where it says show product rating on store, all right, I think for now you just need to uncheck this, because some customers, that is the first thing that some customers will need to check. If you have less number of rating, of course, that might discourage them from actually purchasing your product. So we don't want our platform to actually show the rating, so we're going to uncheck that. All right, so I think that is all. We just need to click on everything is good to go. So we just need to scroll down and click on update. So the system is actually going to update our store. So I think we're done with store settings. So we can go back to yeah, I think that is basically all. In case you want to change your password, you can do this. So we can now go back to our home. Let's go back to our home page, and this is where we are. This is our home page. Let's take a look at, we have sales, we have all products. So I think we are good to go. The next thing we need to do is actually to add products, but for now we actually don't have products. We don't have any products. So the next thing for us to do is actually to create a product. So but before we do that, let's take a look at our main store. So if I click on general store settings, all right, so I want to copy this link, that is the URL to my store, and I want to see how it's going to look like, you know to the customer. So if I hit enter, it's going to open my store. So you can see this is how our store is looking like at the moment. All right, this is our logo, this is the name of the store, and we have a little description about the store, and of course we don't have any products yet. At the top you can actually switch to see the different currencies that we have, but because I'm in Nigeria, that is why by default the system has actually set it to NGN, which is what, Nigerian currency, that is, it's on naira. So it actually supports a lot of currencies. So irrespective of where your customers are, they can actually purchase your product, and seller is going to convert that particular currency or that price from where the person is buying it, and it's going to be converted to your local currency. All right, so we don't have anything on our store for now. So in our next, I don't want this video to be too long, maybe probably in our next video we're going to see how to create a digital product that will be able to upload on our seller store. All right, so thank you so much for listening, and in case you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section, and I'll be super glad to respond to your question. Thank you. Bye for now.